Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Jaya. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Jaya. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा 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 कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 1st chapter, text number 9. The chapter is entitled Questions by Vidura. Please repeat after me. Yada cha partha prahita sabhayam jagadguru yani jagad Krishna na tani pumsam amrit ayanani raja uru mene shata punyalesha. Yada cha partha prahita sabhayam Jagad Guru Yani Jagad Krishna Natani Pumsam Amritayanani Rajorumene Shatapunyalesha. Yada cha partha prahita sabhayam Jagad Guru Yani Jagada Krishna Natani Pumsam Amritayanani Rajorumene Shatapunyalesha. Yada cha partha prahita sabhayam Jagad Guru Yani Jagada Krishna Natani Pumsam Amritayanani Rajorumene Shatapunyaklesha. Krishna Rajurmene Shatapunyalesha Yadatapartha Kaita Sabhayam Jagat Guru Yani Jagat Krishna Anyone from ladies? Jagat Guru Jnani Jagata Krishna Nitani Pumsam Amritayanani Rajo Rumene Shatapunyalesha Yada when Cha also Partha Prahita being advised by Arjun Sabhayam in the assembly Jagat Guru of the teacher of the world Yani those Jagad went Krishna Lord Krishna Na never Tani such words Pumsam of all men of sense Amrit Ayanani as good as nectar Raja the king Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan Uru very important Mene did consider Shata dwindling Punyalesha fragment of pious acts. Translation. Lord Krishna was sent by Arjun into the assembly as the spiritual master of the whole world. And although his words were heard by some like Bhishma as pure nectar, it was not so for the others, who were completely bereft of the last farthing of past pious works. The king Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan did not take the words of Lord Krishna very seriously. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna, who is the spiritual master of the entire universe, accepted the duty of a messenger and deputed by Arjun went to assembly of King Dhritarashtra on a peace mission. Krishna is everyone's Lord, yet because he was the transcendental friend of Arjun, he gladly accepted the role of messenger, exactly like an ordinary friend. That is the beauty of the Lord's behavior with his pure devotees. He reached the assembly and spoke about peace, and the message was relished by Bhishma and other great leaders because it was spoken by the Lord himself. But due to the exhaustion of the pious results of their past deeds, Duryodhana or his father Dhritarashtra did not take the message very seriously. That is the way of persons who have no credit of pious deeds. By past pious deeds, one may become the king of a country, but because the results of the past pious acts of Duryodhana and company were dwindling, it became evident from their action that they were sure to lose the kingdom to the Pandavas. The message of Godhead is always like nectar to the devotees, but is just opposite to the non-devotees. Sugar candy is always sweet to healthy man, but it tastes very bitter to persons suffering from jaundice. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Chalakayam Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamishcham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamisham He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yada cha partha prahita sabhaya Jagat Guru Yani Jagada Krishna Natani Pumsa Amrita Yanani Rajo Rumeme Shatapunya Lesha. Lord Krishna was sent by Arjuna into the assembly as spiritual master of the whole world. And although his words were heard by some like Bhishma as pure nectar, it was not so for the others who were completely bereft of last farthing of past pious works. The king Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana did not take the words of Lord Krishna very seriously. So, we are reading from the third canto, the first chapter, where Vidura will quit the home, being insulted by Duryodhana. So, in this verse, we are reading Krishna was sent by the Pandavas, especially Arjuna, to Dhritarashtra as the messenger of peace. The word Amrita Ayanani, Prabhupada translate that as good as nectar. Krishna's words were actually heard by everyone in the Kuru assembly, but not appreciated by some. Although the devotees like Bhishma and others, they actually accepted it as the nectar. When Krishna approached the assembly of Kurus, the very first sentence he speaks, he actually tells Dhritarashtra, Kurunam Pandavanam cha shamasyad iti bharata apranashena viranam etad yachitum agataha. He says, my dear king, O descendant of Bharata, Etad yachitum agata. I have come with a yachna, a humble request. Krishna doesn't need to do yachna to anyone. But Krishna is speaking to Dhritarashtra, and especially because Dhritarashtra is the one who can make decision. He is the decision maker. So he's saying, I am doing yachana, I am practically begging you one thing. Okay? Let there be Kurunam Pandavanam cha Shama Syad. Let there be peace among the Kurus and Pandavas. Without apranashena viranam, without the destruction of all the warriors in the world, the Kshatriya warriors, they should not be destroyed. Let there be peace between the Kurus and Pandavas. This is my humble request. And he tells to Dhritarashtra that everything else you know, I have just come with this proposal. Because you are a learned person. Dhritarashtra was not an ordinary king. He was learned Kshatriya. So everything else that needed to be known was known to Dhritarashtra. But Krishna is coming with a humble suggestion. Let there be peace between the Kurus and Pandavas. Let there be no destruction of the warriors all over the world. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we read somewhere, I think Prabhupada, Shukadeva Goswami mentions, when Duryodhana fell down after being hit by a club of Bhimasena, Krishna was not very happy seeing the plight of Duryodhana. It's not that Krishna he wanted this war and he wanted to see the destruction of Duryodhana. No. Krishna was not really happy seeing the plight of Duryodhana. And Krishna tried everything. In fact, when Krishna came to that assembly, in Mahabharata there is a detailed descriptions what Krishna spoke to King Dhritarashtra. He actually told Dhritarashtra, my dear king, if you have the Kurus and Pandavas in your army, especially people like Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Karna, Ashwathama, and along with them if you have Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, if they are in your army protecting you, then even the demigods will not dare to fight such an army. Even demigods will be subordinate to you. Can you imagine the Aishwarya or the opulence of a king who has Kurus and Pandavas subordinate to him? Such a beautiful nectar Krishna is speaking to Dhritarashtra. But when a person is very much overpowered by the mentality of selfishness, aham mameti, me and mine, then such a person cannot take such beautiful instruction also very seriously. Other day, Shubhalas Prabhu was explaining that Dhritarashtra was blinded. Now, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai Andhikar. Krishna is like sun. How can somebody remain blind in the presence of sun? When Krishna is especially speaking such beautiful nectarian instruction, Krishna told Dhritarashtra, my dear king, not only you have this army of Pandavas and Kurus at your disposal, the only obstacle in this opulence, you possessing such an opulence, is your sons, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and others, who have actually adopted very vicious mentality towards the Pandavas. They have become like wicked people who just want to see the destruction of Pandavas. So if you somehow subdue them, because you are a king, you can subdue them. If you subdue your sons, then nobody can stop you from enjoying the opulence which is unparalleled. So Krishna was actually speaking for the well-being or welfare of Dhritarashtra. He never told him that inherit the kingdom to Pandavas. No. He said Pandavas will be your servants. Because they follow dharma, they can never ever be disobedient to you. They have always been obedient to you. Even though your sons have tried so many plots against them, tried to poison Bhima, you tried to burn him in the Varnavat, and Shakuni and others, by gambling, by cheating methods of gambling, they took away their kingdom. And still, being obedient to you, all the 5 Pandavas, they accepted 13 years of forest, 12 years of forest and 1 year of exile, just as obedient to you. And they hope that now you will do justice as it was promised before the exile. That once they finish that successfully, they will be given half of the kingdom. So, all I'm pleading you is just do the justice that you have promised. So when Krishna is speaking such illuminating words, how is it that somebody can still remain blinded? You see, in this creation of the Lord, there are some creatures who actually go blind in the presence of sun. When the sun rises, they actually go blind, like owls. So Dhritarashtra is actually one such owl, Ullu. And his son being Ullu Kapatta, the son of Ullu, also equally blind. And therefore they could not appreciate the sweet nectarian instructions of Krishna. Actually, Mahabharata describes not only Krishna was speaking nectarian instruction, in that assembly, such beautiful nectar flowed, even from the devotees of Krishna. There were great sages like Vyasdev, Parshuram, Narada Muni, Kanuma Muni. There were so many great Vaishnavas also present there. When Krishna gave good advice to Dhritarashtra, and still Dhritarashtra remained silent, then Lord Parshuram, who had also come along with his disciples there, he started speaking. He gave also beautiful instructions to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. He actually told Duryodhana that, my dear Duryodhana, this kind of arrogance is not at all befitting. It will be the cause of your destruction. When a person is extremely arrogant, that arrogance becomes the cause of his fall down. And then Lord Parshuram, he gave an example. He said, I'll tell you the examples of how people have fallen from their position or met with the destruction simply by being arrogant. So he said, long ago in the history, there was a king. His name was Damodara. A very interesting name. Damba means pride. Dambodbhava means a person whose pride is rising. His name was Dambodbhava. So, he was the king of the entire Bhumandala. All the 7 islands were under his subjugation. But he developed because he was a very powerful king, he developed a peculiar habit. Every day in the morning he will get up, whomever he saw the first, he would ask them, is there anyone equal to me? So no matter throughout the day, whomever he met Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, everyone will say, have you seen somebody equal to me? How great I am? How great warrior I am? Have you seen anyone like me? So many of his ministers, the Brahmanas, they tried to tell him, my dear king, it's not appropriate for you to asking such question. So please, correct yourself. But that didn't happen. So he continued to ask this question from everyone, every single day. I don't know how people cannot be tired asking same question, right? So one day the Brahmanas, they became really upset with him. And they told him, when he asked them, is there anyone like me? They said, yes, there are 2 people actually, not 1. 2 people who are much more superior to you. You can never come closer to even 1% of their virtues and power and strength and qualities. And this was shock to him. He said, who's that? They said, these are the 2 sages. They live in Badrika Ashram. Their names are Nara-Narayana. So, You can never come even closer to 1% of their virtues. And when the king heard this, he became excited. Okay, I want to go and see them. He actually prepared his whole military, all the divisions of military he prepared, and he went to Badrika Ashram. And there he saw Nara-Narayana Rishi sitting in, as always, they are always immersed in tapasya, penances. He went and offered obeisances to them. Because he is meeting sages, so he has to offer obeisances as a etiquette. And the Nara, he rises and he said, "Yes, my dear king, tell me how we can serve you." The Lord is actually in a very, Nara-Narayana Rishi, in a very humble mood. They said, "Yes, tell my dear king how we can serve you." So Narayan is still sitting in meditation, but the Nara, he speaks these words. So the king says, "I have heard about you two being the great warriors. So I have come to beg from you the battle. I want to fight with you." And Nara simply laughed. He said, "My dear king, this is the place of tapasya and austerities. This is not the place of violence and battle. And moreover, there are so many kings all over the Bhumandala who can satisfy your desire for fight. Please go and fight with them. This is not the place for fight. So please leave." And he said, "No, I cannot leave. I have come with a determination. I want to fight with you too." And although Nara told him many times that please leave, this is not the place, we are not going to fight, he kept insisting, "I want to fight." So finally, Nara, he picked up few blade of grasses in the hand. He said, "Okay, if you are so much fond of fighting, let's fight. Prepare your entire army, because I don't want to fight one by one. Come, all of you come together, and I'll satisfy your hunger for fight once and for all." So, king, along with his entire army, started shooting arrows at Nara. Narayan is still sitting in meditation, so he didn't touch him. So, Nara, he took these blade of grasses and he threw at the king. And these transformed into innumerable arrows, which not only counteracted the arrows of the king and his entire army, but started piercing each and every soldier, including the king, into their eyes, into their ears, and different parts of their limbs. Within moments, the king was completely overwhelmed by the arrows coming from those blade of grasses. And then he fell at the feet of Nara. "Please, please forgive me. I realized my mistake." So Nara, he stopped, shooting the arrows, and he told him, "What Brahmanas told you, you should have accepted that advice. Don't be so arrogant. You are a Rajarishi, you are a king. Saintly king you're supposed to be. Don't exhibit so much arrogance." So Parshuram, he told Duryodhan, just like Damodara's pride was crushed by Nara, same Nara is present in the Bhumandala right now as Arjun. And let me tell you, Nara alone defeated King Damodara, but Narayan is unlimitedly more powerful than Nara. And that Narayan is sitting in your assembly here, giving you instructions. Please accept his advice. Otherwise, you will be destroyed, you will be ruined. And Duryodhan, because he was blinded, being an owl, he couldn't take that advice. He even neglected Lord Parshuram's instruction. Seeing this, even Kanava Muni, he started instructing. He told Duryodhan, "My dear Duryodhan, The pride is the basis of one's ruination. Let me tell you some history. Kanu Muni started telling him another history. He said, my dear Duryodhan, once Matali, the chariot driver of Indra, he had a very beautiful daughter who was full of so many wonderful qualities. Her name was Gunakeshi. So she was of marriageable age, and Matali was worried about her marriage. But because she was so virtuous, so beautiful, and full of so many wonderful qualities, he wanted to find an equally beautiful and virtuous husband for her. So he went throughout the heavenly planets and he came to Bhumandala looking for a nice husband for his daughter. But he couldn't find any suitable husband among the demigods or even in human society. So then he told his wife that actually I will go to the lower regions because I've heard that Nagas are very beautiful. So I'll go and find in the lower regions if some Naga or some other living beings who are equally matched for our daughter. So when he started that journey, Narada Muni met him. And he said, Matali, where are you going? Are you going for Indra's work or some personal mission? And Matali narrated him that he was actually, looking for a suitable husband for his daughter. That's a anxiety for generally parents. So he said, I'm looking for a daughter's suitable match, So Narada Muni said, I will accompany you. Of course, Narada Muni is a brahmachari, but, he understands the mind of the Lord. So Narada Muni knew what is going to unfold in this conquest of Matali's looking for the suitable match for his daughter. So being all knower of the mind of the Lord, Narada Muni, he said, I will accompany you. I'll help you to find a suitable husband. Let's go together. So they started going to Atala, Vitala, in different planetary systems. Rasa, Atala, Vitala, Sutala. In this way they were going to all the planetary systems looking for a suitable boy for Gunakeshi. So they didn't have any success. Finally, they came to Rasatala. And Rasatala, there are so many beautiful and virtuous Nagas. Narada Muni actually started telling Matali the names of all the different Nagas and their virtues. And after describing, when he came to one particular Naga's description, his name was Sumukha. And actually, Narada Muni was going around and showing him also all the Nagas and introducing them also. So when he came to one particular Naga, his name was Sumukha. He was the grandson of a Naga named Aryaka. So when Narada Muni described the virtues of this Sumukha, and when Matali saw Sumukha being an extremely beautiful and very virtuous Naga, he told Narada Muni, I think I like this boy. I will marry my daughter to him. So Narada Muni said, okay, let's go. Narada Muni told him that he is grandson of Aryaka, and his father's name is Chikur, who was eaten by Garuda a few days back. So let's go. So they went to Aryaka, the grandfather of Sumukha. And Narada Muni and Matali, they told him that, we want to have your grandson, we want to give, Matali said, I want to give my daughter to your grandson in the marriage. Aryaka said, I'm sorry, I cannot accept this proposal. Narada Muni said, why? What is the problem? He said, sir, few days back Garuda came and he took away the father of Sumukha. And he looked at Sumukha and told him, next month I'll come for you. So now, if Garuda says something, that is going to transpire. Next month he's coming to eat Sumukha. So I don't want your daughter to become widow, so please, let this marriage go and find somebody else. Narad Muni smiled, he said, don't worry, Garuda will not be able to do anything. Just agree this proposal, we will take your son to Indra and Indra will bless him with long life, so your son will not die. So when Aryaka heard that, he said, well, if my grandson is going to have long life, I agree to the proposal. So Narad Muni and Matali, they took Sumukha to the heavenly planets, where Indra was sitting and Lord Vamandev, Lord Vishnu is also sitting in that assembly. So Matali comes and narrates the whole thing to Indra, that my dear Indra, I have decided to give my daughter to Sumukha, please bless him with a long life. And Narad Muni told him that, but Garuda had promised him that I'll eat you next month. When Indra heard this, he said, I don't think I want to bless him, because I know Garuda's strength. Because when Garuda had come to steal the nectar to release his mother from the servitude of her sister, that time Garuda had fought with Indra and all the demigods, and he had defeated Indra and all the demigods. So Indra knows what is the strength of Garuda. In fact, we know when Amrit Manthan happened, when the churning of milk ocean was happening, all the demigods together picked up Mandara mountain along with the demons, but they couldn't. They actually got crushed under the mountain. But then Lord Vishnu came and he picked up mountain and he picked up all the demigods and demons, revived them and put them on the back of Garuda. And Garuda very easily brought it to the milk ocean. So Indra had seen all of that. He knows what is the strength of Garuda. I cannot pick up another quarrel with him. He said, no, I cannot bless him. Lord Vamandev was sitting there, he said, no, Indra, you should bless him. Let this marriage take place. Bless him with a long life. So then, Vamandev, he's the Supreme Lord. So Indra knows, although he's playing the role of my brother, but he's the Supreme Lord. He's saying, so he said, okay, I bless him. So as soon as Indra blesses Sumukha with a long life, Narad Muni goes to Garuda. Garuda, you know what happened? Do you know what happened? I'm just coming from heavenly planets. And he narrated him whole thing, how Indra has blessed Sumukha with a long life. And Garuda got very upset, very angry. He came right in the assembly of the Indra. And he actually started chastising Indra. Indra, I heard that you just blessed the Sumukha with long life. How can you do that? You forgot our friendship. We entered into a friendship, right? You didn't even care for our friendship. Did you forget that who I am? I am the only one who carries the Supreme Lord Vishnu anywhere and everywhere throughout the universe. You forgot my might? And when he said, I carry Lord Vishnu everywhere, Lord Vamandev got up and he became very angry. He said, Garuda, just stop it. No one carries me anywhere. You think you carry me? I carry myself and I carry you also. Forget about carrying me. Let me see if you can carry the load of my arm. So Lord Vamandev, he actually put his left arm. He said, I'll put just my arm on your shoulder and let me see if you can take the burden of this arm. He just put the arm on the shoulder of Garuda and Garuda collapsed to the ground. And with the hand of Vaman, still, Vamandev was not pressing his arm. He was just keeping lightly on the shoulder of Garuda. And Garuda felt the burden of the entire Bhumandala, along with his mountains and oceans, was on his back. And he was in so much pain. And he started praying to Lord Vamandev, my Lord, please forgive me. It's actually true, nobody carries you. You carry everyone. You carry me also. So then Lord Vaman, he removed his arm from Garuda, and Garuda actually realized his mistake. So Kanva Muni is telling Duryodhan, my dear Duryodhan, the same Supreme Lord who crushed the pride of Garuda is sitting in your assembly. Please, do not walk on the path where you and your entire family will be destroyed. Please make truce with Pandavas. And of course, then Narada Muni also goes and narrates another history, of being obstinate. But so much nectar flowed in that assembly. But neither Duryodhan nor Dhritarashtra, and similarly the followers of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, could appreciate that nectar. In fact, after hearing Kanva Muni's whole narration, Duryodhana impudently laughed. He told Kanva Muni, I know who I am. I don't need your instructions, what to do and what not to do in life. No. And there's a saying in Hindi, Vinashakale viparita buddhi. When a person is bound to be destroyed, he loses the ability to accept all good counsel. So although there was so much nectar as being described here, Amrita Ayanani, so much nectar was flowing from Krishna's mouth, from the mouth of the devotees of Krishna, but neither Duryodhan nor Dhritarashtra could appreciate that nectar. Prabhupada says, just like a patient suffering from jaundice cannot appreciate the sweet candy, similarly Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they couldn't appreciate the sweet nectars. So this arrogance or pride which is being exhibited by Duryodhana became instrumental, or it was actually the disease of jaundice which was preventing Duryodhana accepting the sweet candy, the sweet nectar in the form of instructions. So it's actually a very wonderful lesson that we learn, that when a person is too much proud of his or her own achievements, then the person becomes actually blinded. And of course, it's very natural when a person is able to do wonderful things, has extraordinary strength, or sometimes you're able to speak something very nicely, or different achievements, we are able to build something extraordinary. It's natural to think that actually I am the doer. But when we hear from the lips of the Bhagavatas, the great Vaishnavas, and from the instructions of the Lord in the form of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, that reminds us, Today morning actually I was talking to Shankaranand Prabhu, and he was having a little pain in the foot. I said, Prabhu, should I massage your foot? And he said, I have been embraced by a woman named Jara, and nobody can separate us. No matter how much you massage and do, this body is going to dwindle. So actually speaking, when we keep hearing the instructions from the Vaishnavas, we realize actually whatever I'm able to do is just coincidental that Lord has given me some strength. Lord has given me some ability to do something, and it's just a matter of time when it will be withdrawn. When this body is dwindling, everything that we have, all the abilities will be withdrawn slowly and gradually. But a person who can remember this even in youthfulness, even when a person is able to do wonderful things, then we can truly relish the nectar that is being, unleashed in the assembly of Kurus by Krishna and his devotees. I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Are there any questions? Are there any questions or comments anyone would like to have? Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.